All right, you guys, what's up? What's going on? Um, it's middle of the day. It's about 2:30. It's time for my lunch break. Yeah, it's time for my lunch break, and I decided let me shoot my video a little early while the the sun is not out, but it's a little cloudy. A little rain was going on earlier, but you can see me. My last video was last night in the dark. Kind of me showcasing my, when I'm groomed and my hair's cut. I really like this look. It makes me feel better. Although, things are, like I said, last video last night, I look how I felt. It was only on purpose because I needed to be making videos no matter what. Like, I wish I could have kept the topic. On par, but I did have to talk about what was actually going on. I'm not saying I'm any specific YouTuber or anything like that. I'm just kind of journaling my life, I'm selling out basically. Like I'm selling my my story. Like, I wish I was a little more intellectual to put it in a book. I don't have to be anybody right now, but I always dreamed of being somebody, and then somewhere along the way that that dream got crushed, where I'm like, I started questioning and wondering why should people care about about me, kind of things that I guess as people we go through if we're not propped up early in our life, where we don't garner all the attention like other people did, or we just our self-esteem or in the gutter. I've been there slightly. I always know better to bounce myself back, but at some point though, I didn't really want to be a front man for anything really. I just kind of wanted to fly low under wanted to be underground and all of that stuff. But at the same time, man, it's good to be seen. We could be in denial, but it's also good to be seen, especially seeing that people are monetizing a lot of the simple stuff that they do in life, and that's that, that's that. So middle of the day, I mentioned what I do now. I put it forefront. For a long time, I did not want to. I preferred the not quite the mystery, but kind of a mystery. I was living. I was getting by, and people were committed to marriage, relationships, children, careers, and it didn't matter how much that made or how close I used to be with the person. It just never, I always felt like it's an upper hand to not do any of those things, because especially in the early 20s, like 20, 21, 22, because I'm like, at the time I'm like, yo, I wanted to rap. Like I wanted to do music or just rap, which maybe the music side, I'll say most of my life I was influenced by music, but by the time it became about rap, it was more like, it was very new, because I never really paid attention to rap till like I was like 19, listening to lyrics, like finding somebody like J. Cole, lyrical student of Jay-Z, which led me to probably listen to a whole Jay-Z catalog and Nas catalog and some other rappers that those same rappers would mention, and I would be like, all right, so now I gotta check out this guy. I gotta check out this guy. So then, you know, just for a whole 5 to 6 years, that's what I wanted to do. But, you know, it was a real climb because, you know, I don't have the American accent. You know, it was always like my tongue was a lot heavy trying to tongue twist and rapping. But I did do it. Like, I did live it. Like, I did it the way I wanted to do it. And when it was done, it was done. Like, obviously, you know, I could have kept going. I'm not saying that I was anything people wanted to hear, but I expressed myself, and, you know, it didn't take, besides the equipment, it didn't take much, you know, and time, obviously. It didn't take much to just do it and put something together. And sometimes I'd be, you know, trying to play it for my friends. And I guess that's where the discouragement came from. Because, you know, it wasn't the it thing that they wanted to hear, which I don't fault anybody for that. I'm just saying, like, I did it, I tried it, and I enjoyed it for the meantime. Like, but I always mention, like, at the time too, I was smoking weed heavy, so, you know, it was like a whole what can I say this as? And I was in my own little world, you know, like, it was my own little audience, and it was my own enjoyment, because I also enjoyed, at the time, the music in 2019, 2018, I'd say, like, you know, Playboi Carti was coming out. You know, people wasn't really rapping like that. They were, like, kind of, like, doing some melody type beat. So it was cool, and it was a little bit of feel good and stuff like that. So, but it's not a music history. I'm just saying, like, along the way, I didn't commit to a career because I felt like if I made it doing something I like, it's a lot better than saying, well, I gotta pay the bills, let me just go become a police officer. You know, I never really was somebody who was trying to solve crime or arrest anybody, tussle with people. Like, every day wake up, I'm not knocking it, by the way, but every day I wake up, I didn't want to, you know, be strapping my boots and be opening to either having to stop a guy that's bigger than me or smaller than me, shiftier than me from, you know, from a crime. Like, that's just wasn't, you know. Some people want to become a lawyer and maybe a doctor, possibly, because you know, I would have liked to not heal, but, you know, treat somebody. But, you know, at the time, it also was like, I started smoking weed early, so, like, that shit made me, like, I wanted to be, like, in psychology and all that stuff. It was like, you know, that's the route I actually took. So I started doing, like, sociology, taking psychology class, but those fields doesn't, you know, it could easily become a useless degree. So a lot of my student loan debt was based off taking those classes and stuff. So I now could admit, like, those are useless degrees. So, like I said, if you hear, i.e. me, I'm here right now, it's because I fucked up somewhere. Yeah, you know, I'm getting by, but like I said, at 30 years old, I've done a lot of great things, but it's for other people, you know. So far, I've helped, you know, semi-raised kids, helped senior citizens, you know, get around, do things, you know, a lot of good stuff. It's not like I've been on my ass. just letting time pass. But at the same time, I've been, the good thing that's been going on for me, I've been 5 years sober from weed. I'm no longer smoking weed and spending $80 in a day and a half to smoke weed. So that's where majority of my money went. Now I found a new addiction from weed, which is really traveling and, putting hands on some foreign hips. So, it's a trade-off. One of them, I guess, the traveling is less. It kind of, I think I gained from traveling. Versus weed is kind of like taken away from. It's, it puts you to sleep. It makes you think your thoughts is is a lot brighter than the ideas are a lot brighter than it actually is. Just for you to, kind of like go to sleep and not just forgot about it, but not really working on it, because it's more time it's a dead end. But just being high, you just fly right over it. You think you're just flying right over it, just to calm down again and not be able to take the path, because obviously you missed something along the way. So, but I'm not knocking it though. There's people that's able to perform, but me, I was smoking my problem away. I wasn't the average weed smoker. I brought it into a lot of the things in my life, which was my work. Hell, I even, early on, I even tried to be a churchgoer, but I knew it was a problem when, after I done got dressed in my suit and all that, I had to go around the way and fire up the ganja. So, I couldn't help myself. So, I'm not knocking weed. It just now has different effect on me. Like, till this day, I'm no longer a paranoid person, but at the tail end, I became paranoid, and I feel like if I smoke it right now, those same feelings will come back. So it's, plus, who the hell want to spend $40 on getting high? Like, I was never a drinker, but now I'd rather get a buzz from drinking than getting high. But that's just me. That's just me. Did I skip out on? Interesting. Yeah, I kept going. But anyways, I'll figure it out. Yeah, that's the story, man. Like I said, if I'm here right now, it's because I fucked up somewhere, and the good news is I still have time to fix it. Now, I wouldn't want to. That's why I'm doing this, because it at least hold me accountable. Because now I can stick to my story, really, because a lot of time things would happen. Like, I would take my L. I would take my L so quietly that, it's like it never happened. But if it's right up front, it's recorded, it's documented, then it's almost like, sorry, I'm a little distracted. I gotta put this address in. And I should really know where I'm going, but I'm weird like that. Let's go. All right. Thank you for your patience. And a lot of time I do this on purpose because I want somebody to be able to tolerate little things before they get to the real things I'm saying, because some people are haters. They just looking for things to nitpick and, basically drag you about it. I don't claim to be the sharpest knife, the sharpest tool in the drawer. Nothing like that. I used to, early on when the world felt like it was mine, and once again I was high as shit. I would think I'm teaching people something, but I learned a valuable lesson along the way. Like, it's best to pretend you don't know shit. When you pretend you know everything, you open yourself up. So as of right now, I don't know nothing. I don't know shit. I'm learning from my own mistakes and others' mistakes. I'm learning as I go. All that good stuff. And there's nothing wrong with that, Now I know more than the average cat around, or I'm more critical. I'm willing to be more critical thinking than the average cat. But other than that, man, I'm just an individual going through life, and I wouldn't want it any other way. Yeah. So what else? Oh, they want $4,800 for this car. I am in the market for a vehicle. How much mileage? It's on 148 mile, clean title. A Nissan. I don't think I ever owned a Nissan, but I've always been fond of certain kind, like a low Maxima. This is an Altima. But I think I'll probably get a Toyota before I get a Nissan, if the price is right. I know I got off topic a little bit, but yeah, if I could get a low maintenance vehicle, that would put me right on track with what I'm doing. Preferably a 2015 and up, because whenever things get tough, I could rely on Uber and stuff like that. Ooh. This was about to take me the long way. But thank God I know where I am now. But look at me, man. I'm groomed. My hair's cut. Although everything is going on, my mind is still clear. It's focusing on the future. So I'm not really, I try to give you a little bit of my past. But I will say right now, at my current standing, I am fine. I'm not living in the past. I'm more so living in the present. I'm not too eager about the future, because you might miss out on the present if you too focus on what the future is gonna be like. And it's a good thing too to put things that pays out in the future, because before you know it, you'll get there, and it will bless you in your present. Like, let your present meet your future, versus just so focused on the future that you fucking up your present. So that's just the message that I want to pass on. I'm a few minutes away from picking up my food and eating and getting back online. So I'm about to check my stats off the driving. So so I could just conquer this weekend, because this weekend is very crucial with my money situation, because I'm paying this rental weekly and I'm getting paid bi-weekly. So yeah, thank you very much. Thank you for tuning in. Here's a new thing. Gotta make sure I'm clean cut. Sometimes I'm gonna look rough, but I was watching some of those videos, man. I'm like, damn, why did I saw it. I knew how I looked, but I had to upload it, because it's only on purpose, man. It's only on purpose, because I'd rather people think I'm doing bad than people think I'm doing good, and try to basically ask you to borrow something I'm just in between. Like, I'm not doing too good. I'm not doing too bad. You know, I could take care of myself. It's just that I can't lend any money, you know, because I've never been going through something and I could think of somebody to let me borrow something. And even if I could, I feel some type of way. So instead, I try to figure it out my own, or take my own L. You know what I'm saying? Like, take it take it in the chin and stuff like that. So that's it, man. That's it for this video. I'll catch you on the next one. Appreciate everybody who watched up to this point. And like I always say, like, subscribe, leave a comment, and make sure you tune into the next one, man. You just never know what I might say. All right? Peace.